So, my question is from Final Home and CP Company is mostly like them. What is the influence that the Massimosti and the Final Home have on you?
Okay. Final Home, I bought the first Final Home jacket.
Survival jacket?
Yeah, the one with the zippers.
Long zippers.
The hood. In the like dark green color, maybe 2000. No, before that.
Final Home is very
maybe
old.
1995. 1995? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It sounds right. On one of my first 3 trips to Japan, I would have seen it and bought that. And I thought it was super interesting. I love the concept. I really appreciate that he's attempting to design for real world uses and not just fashion. So I thought that approach was very, very correct. And yeah, the design itself, though, I thought was not what I would have done, but was still conceptually very, very interesting. And because back then there was no internet, no websites, no social media, the only way to find out information was to go somewhere physically.
Go to the stores?
Or to find a magazine. So there was no information. So I found the jacket in some store.
So did they have a store in Japan?
I don't remember where I got it.
Okay.
They didn't have a store.
Yeah.
And that was it. I couldn't find out any information after that.
Yes.
I had just the package that it came with and the little like flyer and the jacket itself, and that's it.
A little interesting things like the gum bag.
Yeah, but
one sex.
So anyway, there was no way to find out more about the designer or about the product or about the line. So
he's from Miyake, I remember.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Back then, there was no information.
Just came across
like something from a different planet. Like you find it by itself in the wild, and that's it. There's no other context, right? So so in that respect, I wasn't able to gain that much insight into it. So the influence is just from the one garment, and that's it. So Massimo Osti, on the other hand, the influence was much, much bigger because we went to his studio in also around that time. It's like 95, 96 probably, while we were working on another project for a German brand called Sabotage. And Massimo Osti's parent company at the time was called Production, and they were thinking to buy the brand Sabotage. And so during one of those meetings, the owner of Sabotage, Michael Danros, told us to meet him in Italy. So we drove down there, and then during that day we visited Studio Osti. And that was the first time we really understood who he was and how he worked, and it exposed us to a completely new way of working on apparel. His process is very different from everyone else's, and left a huge impression on us. That project ended, and they didn't end up working together. But for years later, we always thought back to that visit we paid to the studio, and we're like, wow, one day, hopefully maybe we can go back there or reach out. And at some point we had designed a jacket for another collection that we did, and we got an extra one for Massimo Osti and sent it to him along with a letter that said, you won't know who we are, but we visited your studio one day and left this huge impression on us, and we would like to gift you this jacket for your archive, a jacket that we made for your archive. And then funny enough, he replied, and back, this is before email and all, so he sent a fax. So we got a fax message, and it said, thank you very much for sending. Next time you're in Italy, please come by and visit. the studio, and then we were like, "Hey, guess what? We're going to be in Italy next week." and we drove down there and visited, and that was just the beginning of a short project we did with them. And then we worked in Studio Asti along with his team, probably about 4 months. And so there we had a much deeper connection, and we were inside Studio Asti working with him and his team directly, and we're able to absorb like so much. We learned so many things there. This is probably now 1998 or 1999, just before ACRONYM was created. Actually, the first idea for the jackets thing we had in Studio Asti, because Studio Asti had probably one of the largest archives in the world at the time of technical apparel. So every day we would just spend the whole day looking in the archives at different samples. And one day we found a hunting garment that had a pack strap system. And we were like, wow, this is amazing. We had seen something similar that Helmut Lang had referenced around that time as well. But the difference with this one is that the way it was clipped on, you could unclip it, and then I tried anyway.
It's more versatile.
It was semi-detachable. And as I was trying it out in the studio, I tried with the two straps. I tried running to see if the jacket stayed on, and it fell off. I was like, that's too bad. And I was trying to figure out ways to have it so that it would not fall off if you ran. And one of the things I tried was I guess what now is called a crossbody position. And from that idea, or from that observation, I had the idea to connect the two sides together.
Sure.
And so drew the first jacket sling drawing at Studio Asti in the 90s back then. And then the original one used a clip. So you need two hands to fold it in half. And then later, we say 1 or 2 years later, when we were developing, maybe 3 or 4 years later, actually thinking about it now. Then I realized, you could actually do it the way it is now, which is just with the
single hand
and no clip, no buckle. So that's how we got the jacket sling. Was it CP Company?
Maybe those
Massimo Asti.
You mentioned it in the interview about Massimo Asti Studio, the brand.
It would have been a brand he did called Production. Massimo Asti Production.
Production.
They had a specific jacket that had a Velcro front, actually, with 2 pockets, very similar to the J28.
J28.
So, I have one jacket, so this one is Massimo Asti's. It's a 1980s.
That's good. That's not the one.
Do you speak? This jacket is like the J1A.
I never seen this before.
Never seen?
I never seen this. Cool. Yeah, Massimo is one of the most influential menswear designer probably ever.
Wow.
Even people who don't realize they're influenced by Massimo Asti, they are influenced.
For sure.
Right? He's like the way they approach things really change, especially in Italy. Initially in Italy, but then that gradually spread across the whole world. So it's impossible to think about menswear today without Massimo Asti. Person who helped.
Peter from Belgium?
No, it's definitely Michaela.
Michaela.
Co-owner.
For sure. That's definitely.
She's the one. Without her, there's no ACRONYM. Because she's the one who actually turned it into a business.
Yeah, she's the one who had to leave Tornado and go to Germany.
We went to Germany together and founded the company together. And because of the different skills we had, Like what I'm good at, she's bad at, and what I'm bad at, she's good at.
Yes,
So when you put those together, then we have the whole spectrum.
that's wonderful.
And that's why ACRONYM still exists today.
Story in the business hype.
yeah,
You
yeah,
talk
yeah.
with Jeff Stable.
Yeah, that's a good interview.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So is there business hype anymore? Do they?
I don't know actually.
Okay.
I haven't. I was just thinking about that the other day too. Somebody mentioned that anyway.
Last year we had a meet with Peter from Bajack,
Nice.
and he talked about how you know each other.
Yeah. He's great. Peter is a very, very special guy. His technical understanding
Sure.
and his ability to build systems for design and production is like there's nobody like that. He has a very, in his own way, a very methodical approach to design that really 100% resonates with me. And it's the only other designer, especially at that time, who had the same idea about reliability, repairability, and functionality. Him with bags and us with apparel. That was a very natural meeting, and until this day we still use each other's products. So Pete's amazing.
And he talked about how you introduce him Fujiwara and
Oh yeah,
more Japanese corporation.
yes, that's true. Yeah.
The moves of Bajack differs after his relationship ends with Stone Island. Maybe after Stone Island got bought by Montpellier.
I don't know when that happened, but it's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. In Race Service Night School video, you talk about the art of war. You talk about the book of 5 rings. What's the asymmetric design? Could be if you talk about like roughly for the Chinese brand.
Oh, that's a very good question. In my opinion, what I think is interesting about the Chinese brand is that you are sitting, by nature of being in China, you're sitting right next to the production and right on top of the supply chain, which means you can react faster and more directly than anyone else in the world. Everybody else has to get on a plane and fly 15 hours to come to China and get a translator, and then they can start to work on their production and design. Brands that are located here already, operating here, they don't have to do that. So you can have, like Hemkes as an example.
Sure.
I don't think Hemkes could exist in any other country because you can see it in the design, the complexity, the number of materials, the amount of pattern work, the different types of accessories. That level needs a lot of iteration, a lot of direct contact. And you can't do that remotely, I don't think. Not without a lot more money and a lot more infrastructure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because Hemkes owns his factory.
Yes. And in Germany, there's no factories. Like, for example, right? Like, I have to get in a car and drive 7 hours to get to the closest factory, which is my own factory. And there's no supply chain there, right? Every material I have to order from Japan, I have to order from Switzerland, from China.
Sure.
I have to leave to go get it, right? So brands here very naturally have access to many, many more parts of the supply chain and parts of the manufacturing process. So, in my opinion, it's inevitable that the brands that lead will eventually come from China. It may take a little bit of time, and culturally things will probably have to develop, but you're already starting to see very exciting, a lot of the most exciting stuff right now I think is coming from China. that's only going to increase as things in the West become more and more difficult and more expensive. The advantage, I think, will only increase for the brands that operate here.
Yeah.
I mean, copying is also a part of learning, I think so. But I think eventually, if you're a real designer, a real creative person, you eventually will get bored.
Yeah, you also talk about copy the process,
Yes.
not copy the work.
Well, I think once you have that insight and you realize, oh, I can be inspired and I can pursue the same things, but in my own way.
Sure.
That's just much more interesting, and leads to more interesting results too. So it's just a matter of time before that kind of thing happens.
If they can really be your student. Yeah.